What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets checking back in. We got Buddy Betts with us this evening as we go over his favorite division, the NFC South, with his team, the New Orleans Saints. As you guys can see, that they are they lost yesterday to who? Who was that? Oh, the Ravens. They lost the Ravens. Yeah, 4-3. Ravens keep their 20 game win streak in the preseason alive, which is incredible. But yeah,
Absurd.
yeah. But we'll go over the NFC South. As you see, the Bucks favored to win that division, minus 200. We'll see if Buddy's got an argument for the Saints to close that gap at all. But then you got the Falcons and the Panthers who have no shot at all to win the division. So I think this is probably the most lopsided division in football besides the AFC West. But yeah, we will go through everybody's schedule and see what are some win totals if we like them, and then if we like any props and futures to go for, and we'll go from there. Buddy, how are we feeling tonight?
Good, man. I'm feeling good. I do have one request when we do this. Can we bottom two teams and work our way to the better two?
Yeah.
Uh, because I'm gonna want to talk more about the Saints and the Bucks. I don't think there's a ton to talk about with the Panthers or the Falcons. I mean, we talk about the Falcons and Kyle Pitts, and that'll be great. But Sam Darnold, I guess, is an interesting figure with the Panthers.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I think obviously to start the season, Vegas, the Buccaneers are favorite in this division by fault. They're the world champions, and Drew Brees is gone from the Saints, so it's kind of a turning over a new leaf. You know what route they're going to go, especially with the quarterbacks. But yeah, I'm not all in. I'm not sold all in on the Bucks winning the division. Not just yet.
Yeah. I mean, there's absolutely no value in taking the Bucks right now at minus 200. So if you were, if we're giving any betting advice right now, I'm not taking any action on any of these teams right here, and waiting to get maybe a better line in season. Maybe the Bucks start off a little slow, have a little Super Bowl hangover, and they end up, being minus 150, something like that along those lines. We'll see how the season keeps going, but overall right now for the division, these two teams or these four teams don't provide much value. Saints plus 350 is, I think it's a long shot. Obviously, like what Buddy was saying, the Falcons and the Panthers are absolutely useless. I don't see them competing whatsoever for this division. So it's basically a two-man race, and I'd probably wait until mid-season or so to pull the trigger here. As everybody knows, Bucks won the Super Bowl last year, so yeah, by default they are favored to be minus 200, especially with the Saints having regime change with no Drew Brees. Who did you think? Just going over the preseason game real quick. Who do you think looked a little bit better, Taysom or Jameis?
Oh man, 1,000% Jameis. The guy, he's got a God-given talent that's undeniable. His was obviously between the ears, and I think when he was with Tampa before, I'm trying to think of who their offensive coordinator was. Jeez,
I can't remember who.
you may know off the top of your head, but it was no Sean Payton. It wasn't anybody that's going to teach him how to beat a defense. So I think him coming in, I think he's going to be our starter week one. But
Yeah.
like I said, man, if he appears, he could be definitely a top 10 quarterback in the league. But we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a big year for Jameis, and I think it's going to be a big year for him in regards to whether or not he's going to be a Saint for 4 or 5 years. I don't think Taysom is the answer. I think Taysom is good in the position he's in, being that Swiss Army knife. He can come in, bust a big play. He can come in and line up and run the exact same offense that Jameis can. He just doesn't have the same abilities and capabilities. So, like I said, I think they both look good. Obviously, Jameis is just more of a pure passer. In my opinion, he looked ahead of Taysom. So Taysom's kind of, you get what you get, man. You know what you're expecting out of him. Um, so he's never, in my opinion, going to beat you throwing the ball.
I agree with that. I think Taysom is a great gadget guy. Um, something that defensive coordinators can try to prepare for, that extra layer. But I think on a consistent basis, if you're trying to win football games, Jameis, if you can mold Jameis into who you want him to be, he's going to be a superstar for you guys. I mean, he threw for
I mean,
30 plus touchdowns, and then the next year he wasn't even a starter. That's insane to me. I know he threw 30
yeah,
plus interceptions as well, but you would think a coach would say, "Hey, I can work with that talent." And maybe that's what the Saints did last year. Say, "Hey, come and watch Drew Brees for a year, and then come be the guy for us." So maybe that was.
I mean, throwing 30 plus interceptions in a year is too, obviously it's the player himself. It's not being able to read certain defenses, but then again, just as much of that goes on the head coach and the offensive coordinator. That's throwing. I mean, to a point, it's forcing balls and things like that, or it's playing from behind. They were playing from behind a ton when he was in Tampa, so they were just throwing the ball 30, 40 times a game. Him being with the Saints, they like to run the ball, man. They've got one of the better rushing offenses in the league. And Sean Payton is one of the more players in the league. So he's never going to put Jameis in situations where he's going to need to come back from 2 to 3 touchdowns. Not saying it won't happen, but 9 times out of 10, the Saints' game plan is better than the opposing teams.
Right.
Just because of Sean Payton being, in my opinion, Sean Payton's a top 3 head coach in the NFL.
Oh yeah, he's shown it for sure. And if you guys are just tuning into the stream, me and Buddy have a Discord going for our VIP plays. I don't know if you guys have realized this, but Buddy is pretty much a wizard when it comes to the ATP tennis out there, or any tennis out there. We've gotten over close to 100 people, actually over 100 people in our Discord. And what we are running right now is a $20 promotional for the first month. And then after the first month, it's $30. So it's completely, I think it's one of the cheaper deals on Twitter that you'll find. You'll find guys, single VIPs that charge a whopping 300, 400, 500 bucks. We are charging literally $20 to just be a part of this community that we're building. We talk pretty much 24/7. I wake up, talk to them, go to sleep talking to them. They ask questions all the time. Buddy's there 24/7 as well. So yeah, we are loving what we're doing in our Discord. We got NFL DFS going, NFL preseason right now. 5-1 in the preseason. So we are rolling right along, and we'll keep doing these streams together. So if you guys want to hop on in, it's $20 for the rest, or for your first month, and then $30 after that. So.
Yeah, just to touch on that, baseball's been iffy for most any capper. There's a handful of guys out there that are doing it well. I'm not going to throw their names out because I don't know they're VIPs, but I do know some that are absolutely killing it. But for the most part, most guys are hovering around 50, 55% with their picks. So, but if you had joined our Discord and had been a part of the tennis success out of the last 16, 15 days in the green, and I think we're up over 50 units in tennis alone. So, big things come. And that's only, I mean, tennis is what's keeping us alive right now, just because MLB's been so spotty. But it's really going to take off come NFL and college football.
And
I know that's your, and it's definitely one of mine. So, and then right now we get NBA, man, and I'm super pumped for the NBA season. Not to get off track.
No, I mean, we're showing our uniqueness for sure, and all of our bets, everything is tracked. I have a link tree at my Twitter account. It's got the spreadsheet on there. So if you want to ask, I get all the time, hey, what's your guys' record? What's this? What's this? I just tell them, go to the spreadsheet. It's all tracked day to day. So no scamming out of us. We are as real as it can be, as transparent as we can be, and we go from there. But yeah, so we'll go to the plus 1,000 team real quick. The Carolina Panthers. So let's see their win total and see if it's got any value to it. Where are we at?
I can't believe they're plus 1,000, and I can't believe the Falcons have the third best odds in this league or in
Oh
this
yeah.
conference. There.
Yeah, so we got over 7.5 for the win totals for Panthers. So let's see. We've been using this Sports Not season predictor. I've never even really heard of these guys. I just like how they break it down. Um, but so Panthers have new quarterback in charge. We got Sam Darnold, and we're on the over today for their preseason game against the Colts. You got to see their two backup quarterbacks, PJ Walker and that Greer kid. They look pretty good. I think PJ Walker is out of the XFL, so he does provide some kind of value for this team if Sam Darnold has to go.
PJ Walker looked real. I mean, I know who they were playing against today, but he looked like a man, and he's an older guy too. So usually the older guys that have been in any league for a while, they're usually gonna. He's not gonna be the starter. Darnold's gonna be the starter. But if Darnold were to get a possibility this year, I don't think they're in terrible hands. I'm not saying they're gonna go to the playoffs or anything, but he can win games.
Yeah, and for all my fantasy football gurus out there, this is a team that you can target on the offensive side for some good exposure. Obviously, you got Christian McCaffrey being the number one pick in consensus in football. Then you got DJ Moore and you got Robbie Anderson as your two wideouts that will get a lot of value. And Sam Darnold getting out of New York, I think, is going to be beneficial to him. So Sports Not right here has them being 7-10 on the season. So I'm going to go through it real quick, and we'll see how we assess it. But yeah, like I said, and Chuba Hubbard looked really good today. I don't know if you guys broke off almost, I think, a 60-yarder. And they got that rookie Terrence Marshall who looked really good today too. Ian Thomas as well on the tight ends. I mean, like I said, on the offensive side of the football, these guys will be good. Panthers defense has been horrific. You're in the Cowboys horrific era last year. So I don't think Weezy would like that if you were on the stream here. But
where's Weezy, man?
I don't know. Weezy's not here. We don't have much comments. Let us know who the heck you guys like in this division. Probably gonna say Bucks, but yeah, give us some engagement while we sit up here and blab on. But
let me hear some do that.
Then so we'll just go through their lineup or the schedule real quick. They play the Jets, so Sam Darnold gets a little revenge already, and they're favored 4.5 on week 1. So this might be a game I might hit right here. They think that the Jets are going to win 30-20 though, so I don't. We'll see.
They think the Jets are?
Yeah, they think they're double digits. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's a weird game, man. That's very interesting. I think. All right. Just because of that, I'm going to ask a question. What do you think about Zach Wilson? Because I was never high on him, even pre-draft, and definitely when he drafted by the Jets. Yeah. In my opinion, he just automatically just dipped to the floor,
right?
Because earlier it's the freaking Jets.
Yeah, no, I think he'll be okay. I just don't think he's a franchise game-winning quarterback like Justin Fields. You guys saw how the way he played. It's unbelievable the way that Justin Fields is going to play the quarterback position.
Yeah, I need to apologize because I didn't make any negative comments about Fields, but I did say that he definitely won't be the starter until midway through the year after it's kind of a done deal that they've got a losing record. But dude, the guy, when he was at Ohio State, I knew he was a great athlete and whatnot, but I thought just the talent around him made him that. That's why I was never real high on him. He absolutely, dude, he blew me away yesterday with how well he played. So they got a keeper there in Fields for sure, and they got to in the draft where they got him.
Yeah, he reminded me so much of a young Russell Wilson, so much when he was running, throwing, everything that he was doing. I was just like, I feel like I'm watching Russell Wilson 5, 6, 7 years ago. It was impressive.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. He's a good bit bigger than Russell, though, height-wise, right? I think he's 6'5".
Yeah, I think he's taller than him for sure. Yeah, he's going to be a beast. I still believe I'll stand by Andy Dalton starting week 1 just so they have an excuse.
They did
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Just an excuse to go to Justin Fields. But that fan base is going to boo the shit out of Andy Dalton as soon as he makes an error. And then it's just going
Hell
to
yeah.
give us Fields, give us Fields, give us Fields.
Right.
We got a chili cheese dog with beans. Thanks for the follow, man. He says, buddy's a little choppy. Yeah, he's working on his
usual.
He's working on his connection. He's got that. He's getting the hard wire in here shortly, and then we'll be good. But no, it's not like a crazy echo like we've had in the past. So yeah, which is good. You can kind of understand exactly what he's saying. But so yeah, we got Jets. I'm gonna say the Panthers win that game. Then the Saints, I'll say they lose. 1-1. Texans, Cowboys, 2-2 there. Eagles 2-3. Vikings 2-4. The Jets, shit, I'll give them a win. 3-4. Falcons, I'll give them a win. That's 4-4. Pats 4-5. Cardinals 4-6. Football team 4-7. Dolphins, I'm gonna say that they lose 4-8. Then they have a bye. Falcons, we'll say they split. So we said they won before, so 4-9. Bills, not gonna win that game. Bucks, not gonna win that game. I mean, I'm struggling to see 7 winners here.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If they're so.
Let's say upsets.
Who'd you give them losses to?
Early
I mean, the wins to. Apologize.
wins. So we got the first one against the Jets. I got the Texans. That's 2. I think I gave them I gave them the Vikings. So that's 3. Gave them the Giants. That's 4, and then Falcons were 5.
Dude, I think I mean, obviously, I think they're gonna win 4 to 5 games, but I think the Vikings could actually absolutely cancel them, and they're not even a good football team. And then the Giants, man, I want the Giants to be good for some reason so bad. I'm a huge. I think he turns the ball over a ton, but for whatever reason, I've always liked
Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I think he's got the abilities to be a good player. I don't know that they've got the right head coach right now to bring that out of him, but we'll see. But I don't know. So I saw. Yeah, I definitely don't see the over 7.5.
Yeah.
But I see lower, man. 2.5 was said. I'd probably take the under.
Yeah,
still.
we got, where was it at? Panthers under 7.5 is -105, and then over 7.5 was -115. So a lot of people, they would tend to favor the over. I like the under though. Just going through their schedule, it's pretty brutal at the end of the season. So they got to get some wins early on, but then you're also hoping Sam Darnold, fits in with that system. I'm not seeing it. I'm not buying it. I like
for them. Yeah, for them to go over the 7.5, they would have to split both series with the Bucks and the Saints, and I don't see that happening.
No.
That's a guaranteed 4 losses for them there. So.
Yeah, but you get it though. Like they might win one of those games just because that's how football goes. Sometimes in divisions, they defend their home turf, as they say. So sometimes they do upset guys, but overall, if I'm taking this bet today, I like the under 7.5 for sure.
Same.
So then we'll go to the Falcons. Let's see what they're at. I bet you they're right in the 7 or 8 range. Yep, 7.5. So over 7. Over 7.5 is -135. And then you got the under at +115. So you got some value if you think the Falcons will stink it up. This is another team, as we'll go through their schedule, their offensive side of the football is something to target in fantasy football. You got the season-long vet in Matt Ryan, who, I don't know if you guys have played fantasy for very long. He's been a pretty dominant quarterback in fantasy football just because they play behind so many times, and like that fourth, he'll be shit in the bed from quarters 1 to 3, and then he'll throw for 200 plus yards in the fourth quarter, and he'll be QB5 for that week, and it'll just. I never have him on my team because I hate the way he plays, but some people that you're playing against, you're like, oh shit, Matt Ryan sucked for the first 3 quarters, and then just put up 30 points on my ass. So he's just I think he's a streamer this year with how many elite quarterbacks are in the league now. I would say he's a streamer, maybe back in backup quarterback, but he is a guy that still can provide value and still win games for these guys. So let's go through it. We got Matt Ryan, but then they got Mike Davis as their starting running back. And then the big one was they lost Julio in going to the Titans. So we'll see. But then they got Pitts in the draft. I know Pitts' ADP, as we went through on fantasy streams, has gone through the roof. I like him a lot this year. I don't like him at his ADP, so I'd wait on him if you can, if he falls to you. If not, just wait on a different tight end. But I do think he's going to be a big part of this offense with Hayden Hurst. And then you got your boy Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage. And then I'm not even going to attempt to Olamide Zacchaeus or whatever. I don't know how to say it. Apologize for that. But Zacchaeus. There we go. See, I suck at
Zacchaeus, one of the
Then they got the Cordell Patterson, who's pretty much been a gadget everywhere he's gone. So he might take some rushes and then receives, and then he also takes some punt returns as well. But like I said, offensive side of the football, this is going to be good. Defense, they don't even rank in the top 20 in the league, so that's where they fault, just like the Panthers as well. So
who are their defensive studs now?
I can't even name anything on the defense right now.
Me neither, man. I'm trying to.
They got a couple linebackers that are pretty good, but I remember their secondary got hurt a lot. At least was it 2 years ago or last year? Their secondary got pummeled by injuries, and then you just pick on them on every week in DFS. I was like, yep, stack against the Falcons, stack against the Falcons, stack against the Falcons.
Right.
But yeah, so over under 7.5 for win totals. We got Philly week 1. I think that's going to be a really good game. Falcons, I mean, they're favored 3.5. So they're at
dude, are these lines real?
Yeah, you gotta go through it. It's real.
Dude, they're fucking 3.5 point favorites to the Eagles. That just doesn't set. These two, I mean the Jets.
Yeah.
I think in the Panthers game, and I definitely think the Eagles should be favored here, but whatever. Might need to jump on some of these early lines.
Some dogs barking for sure. But yeah, I think they win this game too. I mean the Falcons, or I think the Eagles win this game. The Falcons being favored here just surprises me for sure. You got to think Ridley is going to see. I know Ridley's played a lot of games without Julio. So his production, I think, will stay the same. It's really just the running game. We'll see if Mike Davis can be a number 1 running back. He scares me long term. I think if you get him in drafts, you can get him early. But be prepared to get somebody else, handcuff him or whatnot. I don't know how long he's going to be able to last in a season and be productive. I'll say they lose to the Eagles, then they lose to the Bucks, win the Giants. So that's 1-2, 1-3 against the football team. That's 1-3. You got 2-3 against the Jets. Dolphins, I'll say they lose 2-4. Panthers, say that they win. That's 3-4. Saints, they lose 3-5. Cowboys lose 3-6. Patriots 3-7. Jaguars. This is a
gauntlet.
Yeah, but the Jags. I said this in past streams. They are going to surprise a lot of people with how fast they're going to play, and I know Lawrence is going to have some growing pains, but this team late in the year, I think is going to be able to beat teams for sure.
Question. So to me, the three quarterbacks, or we'll go 4, because Trey Lance had freaking moments of in his short stint with the 49ers the other night. But if you go Mac Jones, Fields, and Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, and I'm not saying this just because I'm an Alabama fan, the guy played great. I mean, you get what you get with Mac Jones. He's never going to make a wrong decision. The ball's going to be accurate. He doesn't have the best throws downfield. And then he's playing, under two coaching geniuses, one of his offensive coordinator and then one being Belichick. So they're going to put him in situations to succeed. Three men out of like I guess the top three, uh, Lawrence, Jones, and Fields. I think you'd have to go Fields, Jones, Lawrence, and their preseason.
Then their preseason debuts, you're saying? Yeah, I would agree with that. Lawrence is going. The talent is there. It's more of him just getting used to everything. Fields is 100% ready to go. He's going to have some growing pains as well. But like I said, in those debuts, I agree with that assessment there. And Mac is not going to be sexy. He's not going to be all over the tabloids like Fields will be, like Lawrence will be. But the Patriots have their guy that's just going to kind of do that Brady effect where he's just going to do what he needs to do, win ball games, and be done.
So the obvious choice for who Mac Jones reminds of when it comes to his athletic ability is Tom Brady, just because he's gone to the team that Brady won, you know, 5 Super Bowls. But Mac Jones, to me, he reminds me, in my opinion, he's an Eli Manning, is for whatever reason the person I would compare him
Right.
to. Um, personality. I mean, actually, he's got more of a personality. The kid's actually funny, but he's just like you said, man. He's never going to be flashy, and he plays in one of the bigger sports markets in the
Right.
world. So even his reminds me a lot of Eli. He can make the weird, athletic, awkward kind of scramble plays happen, but he's never gonna split your defense for 30 yards up the middle on a busted pass.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Which Lawrence can,
Yep.
Fields can, Trey Lance, all those guys can.
Yeah, and that's like the difference between a lot of these up and coming quarterbacks who are dual quarterback threats because that's what every team is trying to go for, and then the Patriots just like screw it, we're going to do what we've always done. Yeah, and just have a quarterback that just doesn't turn the ball over and ends up getting stuff and go from there. But yeah, but go back to the Falcons here. I don't see 8 wins on their schedule. I like the under. That it's plus 115. So if you like that as well, checking the stream out, I'd go ahead and take it for plus money. Do think that they put up a lot of points this year, and they do have serviceable fantasy guys. But I do ultimately like the under. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, all over the under, man. That's definitely one. We need to go ahead and post that in our VIP because I see that line dropping a game or two, huh?
Yeah,
Before it start, I mean,
good thing. But I mean,
that's like if they win 7 games this year, that is a massive year for them.
yeah. If they win, if they beat that, I'll be stunned. They got a tough schedule, especially in the middle of the season. After that bye, I'll see. I mean, the Dolphins are going to be better this year for sure. They're gonna
Yeah,
they're going to be
the Dolphins' offense may not be all there, but their defense is going to keep them in every game they play this
Right.
year. Like when they play the Bills or the Chiefs. Other than that, man, most all these games they're going to be in strictly because of their defense.
All right, so we'll go to your team now. We'll see. We'll go with the Saints. All right, so we got over under 9. What are you thinking? Off the top of your dome.
So obviously I've looked at their schedule. I can't recite it to you off head. So when we go through it, just before we go through it, I'd say over 9. I see them as a 10-win team, especially with that 17th game this year. And then I'm just automatically kind of chalking them up 2-0 against the Panthers and the Falcons. So I give them 4 wins there, and then I guess we could go through the rest of their schedule. But just off first glance, I'd say over 40. Yeah, I'd say over.
Yeah, and that's plus money right now. Over 9 is plus 100. So, not a not a bad idea. I know I've said in past streams where I think that they might start off a little slower than they normally would in years past with Drew Brees at the helm. I think they get better as the season goes on. But the drama with Michael Thomas is a little concerning to me for this offense. They need to have that receiver. Maybe they can go out and trade for somebody or pick up somebody to kind of pick up the pieces while they're gone, while he's gone. But I don't know if Traquan Smith and Marquez Galloway are going to be the two answers for this team. And I know Kamara will probably end up being who probably are, wide receiver one, RB one for this team, kind of the all guy.
Yeah.
But how long can he sustain that for
You're gonna,
for a whole season? So that's where I'm.
you're gonna see, yeah, you're gonna see the Saints rotate 4 backs, definitely 3 backs each week, possibly 4. And there may be games where we rarely see Kamara in like behind the quarterback or next to the quarterback. Like you said, he may be out the slot for most of the game. But see, for me and the Saints, their offense, being a fan of theirs, we had Michael Thomas, but we never had outside of him just a stud receiving core. We've always had some guys that can get the job. Back to what I was saying the beginning of the stream with Sean Payton is, dude, he just doesn't put those guys in bad positions. And obviously having Drew Brees and someone as accurate as he was and knew the defense before the defense knew the defense helped a ton. A lot of that was also coaching. And like I said, going back to Sean. So I think he's got, I like this actually. So I would probably wait until the first month of the season's gone because I think you'll get more juice on this. But I kind of like to win this division. I think the Bucks, and obviously coming from a fan, it sounds terrible, but I think the Bucks are going to take a step back. I don't think Brady is going to be able to recreate what he did last year. And I just think the Saints, there's going to be something sneaky about them, man. And I think it's going to be a testament to Jameis Winston and Sean Payton and what they've been working towards over the offseason. Because I think they're going to be a surprise team. I think a lot of people writing them off because of Brees' departure and because Mike Thomas isn't going to be back till after week 4. But I don't know, man. Obviously, I'm a Saints fan, but I think they're going to have a better year than what a lot of people are predicting.
And you got to factor in, this is another factor you got to think about how last year did not have this effect, but the Superdome was going to be packed again, and that will have that'll have a difference maker mentality to the extent on the defensive side of the football. So I'm not saying that's going to translate into 4 or 5 different wins, but hey, can they sneak out a win against a divisional opponent late in the season, early on in the season, just because of that stadium rocking? You never know. But this, have you been there?
The Dome? I go several times a year, man. It is. So between I'm an Alabama fan and then a Saints fan, to me, as an Alabama fan, there's just nothing beats going to Bryant Denny and being within 100,000 of your best friends. But the Dome, that's another world, man. It trumps any college football game you'll go to when it comes to intensity and a fan base there. You got to also remember before Sean Payton got to the Saints were the Aints, man. Their fans came to games with literal paper bags over their head, and even back then, when they were accustomed to winning 3, 4, 5 games a year, the Dome was sold out, and they were rocking that place. So when the Saints are competitive, which they have been the last decade or more, that place is full. Yeah, that's a hell of a team.
And this is for all my fantasy guys that are going to rewatch this as well. Don't be afraid of Latavius Murray this year whatsoever.
No.
Like Buddy was saying, and I agree with him 100%. Kamara will probably not line up too much in the backfield this season, and it'll be the heavy duty to Latavius Murray. And I think they just picked up Devontae Freeman, and he's going to play a little bit more towards the end of the preseason to see what they got in him. But I like it. Latavius Murray could be. I won't say a league winner, but a very, very good running back two, or a flex option if you're in that route. So let's go.
To me, those two to me, both of those running backs were top 20 running backs in
Yep.
DFS. Yeah, I mean, Kamara's going to get you the points further on the
Right.
receptions and big plays, and Curry's going to get 20 carries a game.
Yep.
We're going to run heavy this year, man, and we've got the offensive line to do it. And I think that's going to open up Jameis's biggest threat, which is his arm. And you get Traquan Harris on a go route after you've been busting it up the middle 5-6 plays in a row. I mean, that's a layup for Jameis. So I just like our odds this year. We can go through the damn schedule, but I do like us this year.
Yeah, and this is the one that I've circled on my end, the Packers game for maybe a potential week 1 max play on my end. I do like the Packers here. I want you to kind of maybe talk me out of it, but my thinking here is they're at home, so that's an advantage for the Saints. But just the Aaron Rodgers factor, and then the Saints figuring it out kind of factor. That's where I'm a little bit. I guess I would say just like trying to figure out kind of the sense of the game. I think the Packers roll in this game, but I want to hear your side of it.
I mean, the average fan is going to sit here and say that the Packers are going to roll. But the one thing the Saints didn't lose last year, and they've actually gained, is their defense, in particular the secondary, which was already deep. I think. Oh man, so if I were to bet this game, I'd probably buy a full point and bet the Saints plus 3.5. I think their defense is going to keep them in this game. To me, you've got Rodgers and you've got wide receiver on the outside. Can't think of his name. And that's other than that, man. Their other receivers are all go routes, running Hail Marys. And then I'm not a huge Jones fan at running back. I know he's a solid. He can run the ball, catch. He's a every down. But man, I think this is going to be a tough game for the Packers opening the season in New Orleans against a team that's going to be dude. The Saints are going to be so hungry because everyone and their brother is doubting them. Nobody has any faith this year, and I think them starting out at home this year, they're going to have something to say, especially to a team. Rodgers hasn't spent much time with his team. He's not going to get any preseason. So I think just to open the season in an environment like that against a team that is stout defensively, it's going to be a tough task for them. Not saying the Packers won't go in and win it, but and I think there's more value in that spread than anything in regards to the Saints.
I think the thing that just started out to me is it only being minus 2.5, so I can win on a field goal as well. So that's kind of where I'm at there. But I'm not pulling the trigger until I see some more preseason games out of the Saints. But so I'll end up saying that they lose this game just for this strange purpose. Not saying that I'm going to bet them or anything like that, but that is one that I've in my head. I'm like, wow, that's a pretty damn good line, and it could be a trap line that Vegas loves to set. So, but I think they open the season 1-1. So they Packers, Panthers, Patriots. I mean, I'll let you go through this. I want to see what you think, really.
Well, I mean, I'm with you there, 1-1. Just for streaming, like I said, if I bet the Saints week 1, I'd be buying a full points plus 3.5. I think they cover the 3.5 there. We're talking about wins and losses here. That's money line. Naturally, I'm going to have to go with the Packers, but there with you, man. 1-1 after week 2. Week 3, that's an interesting game. That's going to be a defensive battle. That's in Foxborough. Man, I'm going to have to say, they have a line set for that? No. Tough one, man. So I'll even coming from a fan, I'll say 1-2 just because it's in Foxborough.
Home against the Giants.
That's a W, man. I think Giants 2-2.
Then at Washington football team.
Another great defensive battle. I'm gonna say surprisingly, the Saints make one more offensive play in that game.
So
Uh, I think it's gonna be a defensive battle, but I think the Saints get a close
when
one.
they get then they have the bye, so they're 3-2 going into the bye. Then you got at Seahawks.
Ah man, that's the 12th man. I think they're 3-3 after that one.
3-3, and then they got the Bucks at home.
I like them to beat the Bucks at home.
4-3.
I do. They're gonna. I think they're gonna split the season series with the Bucks, so I like them to take the one at home.
4-3, and they got the Falcons at home.
Dirty Birds at home. That's 5-3.
5-3 at Titans. The revamped Titans.
Oh man, gonna go 5-4, man. That Titans team is gonna be a tough. I think AFC Championship's gonna be Titans Buffalo. We'll see.
Yeah, the Titans are they're really good.
Yeah, man, they're
So-
gonna be great. So what is that? 5-4 for the Titans.
That's 5-5. 5-5. Sorry.
Well, there was a bye week in there.
Oh yeah,
so it's
5-4. Sorry.
5-4.
Then you got the Eagles,
So Eagles, that's 6-4.
Bills.
Yeah, that's 6-5. Man, the Bills be crazy
You got
good.
Cowboys.
Interesting game, man. Interesting game because Cowboys' offense is going to be potent, but they're going to have no defense. I don't think their the one guy that's going to stand out on their defense is the kid out of Penn State. I'll say we were. No, 7-5.
Then we got the Jets. I assume you say 8-5.
Yeah,
And then
8-5.
the Bucks
for
we're going to
sure.
split with, so 8-6.
Yep.
And then the Dolphins that week 16 at home.
I think we beat the Dolphins at
That's
home.
9-6. And then you got Carolina at home, so you could go 10-6.
Yeah, I do. I like us to hit 10 wins, man.
Look at this prediction that this site tells you. 5-12. Yeah,
For the Saints?
Isn't that fucked up?
This side is on crack, man. We've got 5 wins in our damn
That's
division.
pretty crazy. I mean, when you got the Panthers, but that, I mean, I just
That's a
I
hot
saw
take
that
there.
and I was like, yeah, he's gonna laugh at this shit. Yeah, so that's that win total. So we got buddies saying over 9 at plus 100.
If anything, we push at 9. I think we get to 9 more. I think that's, if anything, at worst case, that's a push bet. But we'll see, man. I mean, I did pick some skeptical W's, but I don't think any of them were far fetched. To be honest, I think they're gonna have a chance in every game they play this year.
Then we'll go to the Super Bowl champs. So I agree with that assessment with the Saints. So I think they're going to be a little bit better. Like I said, I think they're going to be better towards the end of the season, middle to the end, than they are in the beginning stages. But if they do get off to a hot start, I think that's a no-brainer over, in my opinion.
The Saints start slow every year. We open the season with a loss or 2 losses every year. We'll be 0-1, 0-2, and then by week like 6-game run, we'll be mid-season at 6-2. So for the Saints to start out slow is not going to be uncommon.
So you're telling me I got to max bet that goddamn Packers then? We'll see.
If you money line, I don't disagree with the money line play on the Packers. I just said if I'm probably betting plus 3.5, buying a point.
Right. Then before we get to the Super Bowl champs, just want to point out new logo up top is Occupy Fantasy. They just took down one of their subscribers took down one of the preseason GPPs for $10,000 last night. Owner Brian Jester, he took second place. He got 4,000. I've never seen people work harder on the preseason than they do. So give them a shout out and go sign up. Occupy Fantasy for DFS. They've helped me out tremendously. So go sign up with them and watch your bank.
Do you have like a sponsorship or something with them? What's bugging them? I'm just honestly just curious. Are we trying to get something with them? Or?
they've reached out to me to just market their stuff a little bit here and there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
Okay.
I'll vouch for them every day. I see it nonstop every day. What they do, it's pretty impressive. A lot. I mean, a lot better than a lot of these. I mean, I do fantasy labs all the time. There's Awesomeo and stuff like that, but there's not been like a hands-on uh, DFS company that does it the way Occupy does. So I like the way that they roll. So the Bucks right here, we got over 12, under 12. It's set at minus 110. I think this is probably going to be the most heavily. I'm surprised it's not over 12 being like minus 140 with all the fandom with the Super Bowl champs. I this good website. This website says they're going to go 16-1. Oh my gosh! I mean,
Jesus Christ, man.
that's two hot takes in this division. A 5-12 record for the Saints,
Yeah.
and a 16-1 record for the Bucks. I get it. Like,
For the fucking 47-year-old
yeah,
quarterback.
like I get it. Their offense is absolutely loaded, and their defense is absolutely loaded. But there's just got to be some hangover effect that I think will happen. So, I mean, I don't know. I want to say over 12. I'm gonna go through their schedule and make my final decision since then.
Okay, look. So last year they had pretty much the same team, right? There's nobody coming back to this team, or there's nobody new on this team that is just gonna make a world of difference. It's essentially the same. Several games last year where they just got their dick knocked in the dirt.
Yep.
Versus the Saints was one of them. They lost 36-0 or 38-0, something along. They got beat by 25 plus points. So it just these are professional athletes in a professional league, and on any given Sunday, not trying to throw a pun there, beat and anyone can get beat bad. So 16-1, man, in a league that was already impossible to go 16-0,
Yeah.
15-1.
Right.
This website's
Yes. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I do. I think they can win over 12 games. I think they can with how loaded they are. I mean, this offense, you got Brady, that's quarterback, Fournette, Rojo, two great running backs combined and piggyback off each other. Then you got the wide receivers, Evans, Godwin, Scotty Miller's been serviceable, and then they got that Jalen Darden kid who's going to be really, really good for them as well. Got Rob Gronkowski, Bray, and OJ Howard. So OJ Howard coming back off of that injury is going to probably tank a lot of Gronk's and Bray's fantasy value that it had last year. But I still would. I'd prefer Evans to Godwin here, and I think they forgot Antonio Brown. I mean, I don't know what the hell they forgot Antonio Brown. I don't know what the hell this website is, but I just like how they play out the schedule, so that's why I use them. But no, yeah, they got Antonio Brown. I mean, this offense is stacked, and they have the number one rated defense in the league as well. So I can see why they're bullish on them, but not 16-1. But they are opening up the season with the Cowboys at minus 6.5 point favorites. I know you've expressed your that you might want to take the Cowboys in past streams, but maybe not with the Dak Prescott news. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah.
But we'll see. But I don't know if this line will grow or not. I do like the Bucks in that game. So I like them starting off 1-0, Falcons 2-0. But I'm going to say that they lose at the Rams. I mean, Rams are going to be very good. Yeah, that's 2-1 at New England. I mean, Tom Brady going back into Foxborough. I mean, this is going to be a hell of a game. This might be one of the most watched games of the year. So I'm going to say that they win because Tom's going to go put it in their face. So 3-1. Dolphins, I'll say that they win. That's 4-1. At Eagles, 5-1. Bears 6-1. And then at the Saints.
Don't get to 16-1, Doc. Don't do it.
I mean, the Saints, I'll say that they lose here. So because the Saints at home might have a little edge here. So we'll do 6-2 going into the bye. At the football team, I can see them losing this game. I'm gonna say 6-3, 7-3 with the Giants. I could see them losing this game, but I'm gonna say 8-3 with the Colts. 9-3 Falcons. I'll say that they lose to the Bills. This is gonna be a hell of a game. So what was that, 9-4?
I think you got them losing to the Bills.
I got them losing.
I like that.
You like that?
Yeah, I do. Dude, I think the Bills are going to be the best team in football this year.
That's going to be a hell of a game. So at 9-4, I'll say that they split with the Saints. So that's 10-4. Panthers, they're going to win 11-4. Jets 12-4. And then they got to win that final game to get 13. So a lot closer than I think a lot of people think. That was 13-4 out there. And that's with trying to give them some losses here and there. But like we're saying, and what Buddy was saying, I mean, this is a professional football league, and these guys are going to have a humongous target on their back this entire season. So I just think it's a no-brainer. I'm not going to say it's a no-brainer, but shit, I do like the over 12, just on the pure talent alone. What do you think, Buddy?
I don't mind it. To me, over the 17th game this year seems easy. So if I were to play this, I'd play the over. I'm not bought. I think they're a great team. I think they're loaded offensively and defensively. I'm not high on them this year. To me, you've got the Chiefs, you've got the 49ers, you've got the Bills, and I'm missing someone. And then after that, you've got everyone else. Maybe throw the Rams up there.
Yeah, Rams.
But they are so. I mean, dude, the Chargers are going to be a scary team. I think the Chargers are going to be in the NFL all year long, if not top 7 or 8. That kid under center there is absurd. You've got the Cowboys. We don't know how they're going to do. If this is just some smoke screen with Dak,
right,
or if it's a serious because if not and they're healthy, they could be one of those top 5 teams in the league.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, I like the over 12, but I don't know what you said, man. Strictly just based off the talent they have around.
Yeah, not the 16-1, but I do think they can get to that 13 or 14 win range if everybody stays healthy and that all goes.
That's the other thing. It's such a long season, especially 17 games, and like it being a physical contact sport. I mean, health is a huge issue here. So, Antonio Brown, he's obviously on his last leg, and he's nowhere near what he was 3-4 years ago. So, pick his name and say, "Oh, Antonio Brown." What's his name? Godwin and Mike Evans have both dealt with injuries in years past.
Yeah, and then
I think Ronald Jones is the better running back out of those two they have. But I don't know, man. I like them to win 12 games, but I don't like them to repeat what they did last year.
Right. I don't know if you looked into any props. The only one that I think has some value here is Kamara's receptions being over 70.5, especially the way he's starting out the season, being probably their number one receiver through the slot, through all that stuff. So I think this one's got a little bit. It's a minus 125 at over 70.5, but it's not a bad future prop to take in this division.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad play at all. So, if I were to bet this, it would be the over. The only thing that worries me is his quarterback previous was Drew Brees, and Drew Brees lived and died by the check down.
Yep, right.
So that's why his running backs always, like I said, the play could be set for post downfield. It's uncovered. The running back was getting the ball. It seemed like the running back was always the second option, if not the first option.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Just under center, which I assume is what's going to be the case week 1, they're going to push the ball more downfield, and Jameis just isn't that check down guy. I hope he is, and I hope he does get Kamara as involved as Breeze did in the passing game, but we'll see. I like the over. Just I think he's going to be that third or fourth receiver in most packages each week, the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. And the only other one I saw that stood out to me was back to the Saints backfield with Latavius Murray over 550 and a half rushing yards. So I mean that's one I'm gonna probably research a little bit more, but just knowing the way that they want to run this football and with just not having um, probably complete confidence in Winston and Hill. But the only thing that I can see happening is Taysom taking some rushing yards away from Latavius. But I like this. I like this prop bet for sure. Minus 115.
Yeah.
550 and a half.
Dude, they could have 2,000-yard backs this year, honestly. Depending on how carries and things are split, the Saints are going to be a run-heavy team.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 50, 60, 40 when it comes to the pass and run game.
Yeah, I mean, people are pounding the under on Kamara's under what do you call it, rush yards because they think it's going to be going to Latavius Murray now. So under 945 and a half is minus 130 on draft.
They're definitely going to try and protect Kamara a lot more this year than they have in years past. So I could definitely see, I could see him, Murray taking away a ton of carries from him, and then the fact, like we talked about this whole stream, he's going to be lined up on the outside more this year than years past. It seems like he's been lined up on the outside of the tight end 30-40% of every game. So
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that pretty much wraps up the NFC South. I don't have much else prop wise that I like. But we went through division winners, then we went through some season totals. So maybe plug in some of the ones that you like that we've talked about today. But yeah, we will be back. I'll be on a stream tomorrow for the fantasy stream, mock draft Monday, as we prepare for our fantasy football drafts, and then we'll be back Thursday. We turn to the AFC, and I don't know exactly off the top of my head. Let's see which one it is. The AFC. It is AFC East. So we're going to go AFC East. So there we go.
Boring. What a boring division.
AFC East. Yeah, a lot.
We gotta talk about it now.
So yeah, we'll get up on out of here. Buddy, you got anything final to say? Wrap up the stream.
Yeah, no, good stream. The only thing I kind of wanted to talk about for a second, just because it pissed me off, sucked.
Was what?
I hated the first episode. Did
Which
you?
one?
Hard Knocks.
Oh yeah, I think I just enjoyed it because I missed football. If that makes sense.
Right.
But no, it didn't really. I don't know. Did you see Skip get a little hate from I can't remember that. Is it Jenny Hardy or something like that? Because he made fun of Mitch McCarthy's or Mike McCarthy's weight. Saying he's
Yeah.
Come on, Skip, you can't be doing
Yeah.
that. But no, what was your what did you not like about the first episode?
I think it was Mike McCarthy, man. Just as a whole, I don't know. I didn't like any of the role he played in it. I think Dak Prescott is an alpha male. I think he was good at it. Other than that, I think another reason is just the Cowboys, man. Why the Cowboys? Jerry Jones pissed me off with his little bit he had at the
When
podium.
he cried and
about,
shit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, shut up,
Oh,
man. I think it's just the fact that it's the Cowboys. I'm not a Mike McCarthy fan, and I think if the Cowboys do have a good year, it's in spite of him. It's more just because they're very, very talented. He's stuck in the fringes of the NFL. We're sad because you've got people like Belichick, Peyton, and Andy Reid who have all kind of acclimated and grown with what the league is now. He's still, I just, like I said, I'm not a fan of him, and I'm not a huge Cowboys fan, so
Yeah.
I guess that's not a fan of last year's either with the Rams. So
Yeah. I enjoyed last year's with the
keep my
Rams.
Saints.
Yeah, get the Saints on there.
I think, dude, and not. I mean, I'm a Saints fan, but I think that would be an absurd Hard Knocks season, man, with the New Orleans Saints in New
Yeah, they
Orleans.
probably didn't want him won them this year just because they wanted to keep Winston on track. Yeah.
Right. All
But
right.
no, I think the second episode comes on at 9, right? Yeah, so we'll get off right in time. But no,
Yeah.
we'll leave it on that. We'll go watch the second episode of Hard Knocks, and then we'll be back on Thursday going over the AFC East. These are just preview streams, and then we'll get into weekly Sunday morning streams where we give out some free picks for you guys. And that's when the chat will be popping. We'll be having 20, 30, 40 people checking us out, trying to get all of our picks,
Yeah.
and that'll be fun stream for sure. So we'll do that every Sunday. We'll do some streams, probably throughout the week as well, giving out free picks. But that's what you guys can expect from us moving forward. Like I said earlier in the stream, $20 promo for the first month in VIP if you want to join our Discord and increase your bankroll before the NFL season starts and gets here. Please get in now. Buddy's killing tennis. We are going through the NFL preseason, and then we are riding the waves of the MLB season as well. So some days will be very, very profitable in MLB, but then the tennis seems to be picking everybody up on that end. And then we got, I think we're trying to get a little bit more soccer going in there, right? A little soccer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working on figuring out soccer. I just want to make sure I'm doing it the right way and successful before I start posting official plays. But we will have soccer in there eventually. Mainly, it's tennis, Major League Baseball, football is gonna be huge, and then we'll run into basketball
Yep.
season.
College football, college basketball, and then what me and Buddy started out with was the NBA, and we both killed it in the NBA. So that's what we're both excited for the NFL season. Then we got an NBA season, and we're just looking to keep growing. So if you guys do want to hop on, just DM one of us on Twitter, and we will get you guys going to Discord. But on that note, we'll see you guys later.
See you guys.